reports locally, just to make people aware.
All right, everyone. Coach Traylor's about to join us here in a second.
And I'm going to reposition you. And if you just give me like a quick 10 count.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sounded good.
Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll take questions for Coach. Okay, Greg, you're up first.
Jeff, how you doing today?
Good. Temperature was great outside. Kids responded wonderful, so it's been a great day.
Solid. I wanted to ask you about yesterday getting some AP Top 25 votes. A couple of people selected the UTSA. What was your reaction to that, and did you talk about it with the team?
Yeah, we did. Obviously, it's anytime you get mentioned up there, it's fun stuff. We talked about this back in the summer about social distancing, but also along with COVID. Is this going to be an opportunity, or is this going to be adversity? Which one is this going to be for us? And we challenge each other that most schools would not be able to pull this off. But if we could, the more of them that didn't play, the more attention we got, the better chance we got to put our brand, our 2-1-0, triangle of toughness. If we know we were going to get 3 nationally televised games in a row, no, we didn't know that. But we put ourselves in a position where people could see us, the ESPN, CBS. So I'm really happy for my kids. When the season was started, we were ranked 75 out of 76, and I'm not even sure if UMass is even playing anymore. So I guess that would make us the worst team in the country. So it's a lot better than what we were for sure.
Is that a don't eat the cheese situation with the guys, or how do you tell them about responding to that?
Well, it's a great point. It's a great question. We have, at the end of the day, 2-0, 0-2, 1-1. We don't talk about that much at all in our program. But we want to be the very best we can be today. We want to have the best practice we can be today. And whether we've beaten Texas State or not, or whether we've beaten Stephen F. Austin or not, it doesn't define who we are as people. We got to go out there and get better as a football team. Y'all watch the same game I did, and we've got plenty to work on. We're better today than we were yesterday. That's what matters.
We saw Brendan Brady and Adrian Taylor go down in the game Saturday. Do you have any update on those guys?
We're waiting on MRI results on both of them, and we should know a little bit more today.
Hey, Jeff, wanted to ask you about some of the plays in the fourth quarter, a couple of key plays down the stretch. What does that say about your team to be able to kind of make those plays that were the difference in the game?
There was a nice little just streak there. One, our energy on the sideline got a lot better. We just gave him a new nickname. We're calling him the Pilla, P-I-L-L-A, Killas, K-I-L-L-A-S. Those are players on our team that uphold our culture pillars, and they bring a lot of juice on the sideline, and they had us going in the fourth quarter. So it started with Sincere's great run, had a great block by Josh Otis on that play. Then you had Frank on the quarterback draw, had a great block by BJ on that play, and then you had a great punt, by Lucas in that quarter, covered that down. You had Clarence Hicks with a strip, and Jamal Liggins with a recovered fumble. Those are all huge plays in the fourth quarter. Now, what I challenged them on was it's kind of like when you go to a track meet and you watch a guy run the mile and he's in last place, and then that last 100 yards, he just sprints it, and everybody claps and goes crazy. Oh, I've never really felt you should do that. Because if you guys had been running that hard the whole time, he wouldn't be that far behind. Well, so obviously we had a little juice left in our tank, or we wouldn't have been able to surge like that, and that's not perfect effort. Perfect effort is the first play, is as important as the last play. But obviously, JJ, I am proud that my kids rallied in the fourth quarter and won the ball
Can you tell us about being able to run out the clock the last 6 minutes with Lowell there? What does that mean to the offense? And just can you go over what that package is for Lowell?
Well, it's one of the things that's kind of gotten overlooked in this game. Remember how bad our 4-minute offense was against Texas State? We were at 2nd and 5, and we couldn't close it out. So we really worked hard at it this week. We call it the low zone. Obviously, it'll be a short yardage package. The low zone area play for us. And, Miles Benning comes in the game and does a great job blocking on that. And, Low, those 6 carries. Everybody in the building knows what's going to happen right there. He just, willed it through. And I can promise you, Tyrone Nix, that defense was loving it. Watch that last 6 minutes take off the clock and the defense be on the sideline.
Hey, Greg, back to you.
Jeff, what did you make of Jamal Liggins start getting the opportunity at inside linebacker as a true freshman this week?
It just shows the kind of kid he is and the program he came from. He wasn't perfect, but he gave perfect effort. He'll get better every week. He just shows up. He's been that way since the day he got here. The older guys knew him immediately. He just belongs because he prepares so hard, he works so hard, he brings his energy level every day. Came from great people, a great program. The sky's the limit for Jamal.
After the game, I asked you about Frank Harris's carry total and the hits he was taking, and you said it seemed like he probably wasn't taking that many direct hits. When you looked back at it, were you happy with how he managed those situations?
He was fantastic. It was just the one, where he got just destroyed in the pocket on a penalty. I wish they would just blow the whistle and call the whole thing dead, honestly. But it is what it is. And if he can take that leg, I told him that should give him tremendous confidence moving forward for the rest of the year.
Have you guys worked with him on, getting down when contact is coming, taking care of himself in that way? Does that come naturally to him, or what's the approach in that regard?
No, it's not real natural for Frank. That's not what Frank wants to do. Frank does not want to run out of bounds. Frank does not want to go down. That's Coach Traylor's orders, and he's listening to me, thank goodness. He does not want to do that, trust me.
Okay, Hector, you're up.
Coach, good morning.
Morning, Hector.
Hey, you were talking with Greg, Coach, about with the top 25 votes comes that balance, of obviously getting where you guys want to get, but at the same time, a lot more work to do. Is it a pretty good sign, Coach, for a first year coach and a program that, relatively speaking, is still pretty young, that your first couple of weeks out, you're talking about not having to get too high on yourselves, after the Texas State win, now after receiving a couple of top 25 wins. Is that a pretty good situation to be in?
We discuss it all the time. It's really one of those kind of situations where it's never as good as you think, Hector, and it's never as bad either. We were 1-1 or 0-2, we wouldn't have got those votes. We're still the same guys, we're still the same coaches, still the same players. But at the same time, Hector, these kids have been through a lot. And for 24 hours, it's okay to celebrate, talk, and have fun with your teammates. It's okay for 24 hours. Can you eliminate that stuff before today's practice so we can go have a great practice? What practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect. And how we prepare this week will determine how we play Friday. So as long as we don't let those things get us distracted, those are all good things. Those are things for Dr. Campos and President Amy and our marketing department and, our social media for recruiting and to get great. President Amy says it all the time. We're the front porch of the university. So the more of that is the better for the university and the better for San Antonio. So we want to help in that regard always.
With Middle Tennessee up next, Coach, and on our side of things, and for you too, the game being announced so late, so close to when the game time actually is. At the end of the day, does it really make that much of a difference? Because up until now, maybe you weren't preparing for Middle Tennessee anyway, or am I totally wrong in that there is a setback being maybe not the best term to use, but it could be a better situation in that normally who your opponents are years and months in advance.
It's your all-field guys that suffer. It's not really me. It's your analysts and your QCs that are working 1 week ahead that have already put in 100 hours on Memphis, and now we're not using it, right? the Middle Tennessee is going to do the same thing. So there's no advantage to us or disadvantage. Just a lot of off-field guys might look at it as wasted time.
And Coach, this could easily be a better question for Dr. Campos. Any update on whether that Middle Tennessee game will count as a conference game?
No, I got asked that this morning on the radio, and I didn't really have the answer for that. So that'll be a Dr. Campos question. She deserves a lot of credit. She worked her tail off to get us that game, and she was in great communication with me the entire time, let me know what's going on. So tip of the hat to her for pulling all this off.
Thank you, Coach.
Just to follow up on that, as soon as we find out, we'll let everybody know. JJ, you're up next.
Jeff, when did you find out that the Memphis game was being canceled?
Officially, it was Friday, I think around in the afternoon, Friday, I think. I could be off on my days, JJ, but I think that's what she came in there and told me. We had been in communication with them, and they thought they were going to be able to do it, and they just couldn't pull it off.
Wanted to ask you a follow-up about the atmosphere in the Alamo Dome on Saturday. Have you guys considered, or is it even a possibility to pipe in noise?
That'd be another Dr. Campos question. It's a great idea, JJ. It's one that we have talked about as a staff. Once again, it's one of those things for me, JJ. We got to control the controllable. So we came up with pillow killers, and we're going to bring our own juice on that sideline. And if Dr. Campos of the Alamo Dome can create some more noise for us, our band did a great job. They were wonderful during the game. Hats off to them. But we need that. And it made a difference in the fourth quarter. But we picked it up in the fourth because of my pillow killers on the sideline. I had that juice.
Okay, Greg, last questions for Coach.
Jeff, what was it like putting Saturday's game to bed and then getting ready for a new week of practice with really just one day to do that instead of two?
Yeah, just not much sleep, honestly. And I sleep good during the week. I don't sleep good after the game. The adrenaline rush that runs through me. My son that was there, my middle child, Jake, is a great public speaker. So he got all over me for you guys. He was in the media room with y'all Saturday. So he has really coached me up on picking my shoulders up and smiling more after a win. I won't tell you the exact term he used for my face during that interview, but I got to do better, bring more energy after the game. Those games wear me out, and the adrenaline that goes through me, I just don't sleep real well for that next day. So it's hard as coaches. That's not just me, that's most coaches. That we only had probably 8 hours to get ready for this morning's practice. And usually my guys get that 8 hours plus all day today to get ready for tomorrow's practice. Does that make sense what I'm saying, Greg? So lack of sleep and having to squash up a game plan real fast. Because you want to give your guys a great plan. You don't want to waste reps. We're so young as a staff together and with our players. We don't want to waste reps this morning on plays we're not going to actually use Friday. So we had to be spot on this morning in our reps. And we had a great practice. I told my staff it's amazing what winning and cool weather can do for young men.
So the players responded well to being back in practice on a Monday? I know that's a little bit different.
They were awesome. I was worried about it. They were awesome. I'm so proud of my leadership council. Those guys did a great job. Sheldon Jones had a great message before practice. And our kid really won the day today. We weren't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but we gave perfect effort today.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Coach. We'll get Sticks in there next.
Hey, Kyle, is there any way you could boost the audio?
I can do that. I can make it a little louder.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little low on our end.
Can you? I'm going to position. Yeah, with my mic on, it's a little easier. I'm going to position you real quick, but I'm going to come in there and make an adjustment to your audio. So once we get ready to go, position-wise, give me 1 second. I'll pop in it real fast.
Okay. Keith, are we ready?
Nope, give me a second. They had a question about audio, so I'm going to go over there and boost them up real fast.
All right. I think he's muted.
Could you answer?
All right. Looks like we're ready for questions for Sheldon Jones. Okay, Greg, you're up first.
Fix, how you doing today? I'm doing all right. I'm wondering what did it mean to you guys to get some AP top 25 votes? What was the team discussion like about that?
Don't think about it. 2 weeks ago, we were still voted the 75th out of 76 teams in America. Those top 25 votes don't mean anything because just 2 weeks ago, we were talked about as one of the worst teams in the country. At the end of the day, what we focused on, we emphasized was 1-0. We're worried about this practice. We're not worried about going. We're worried about this practice because at the end of the day, if we lose this game, we're not going to be getting more top 25 votes. So just stick to the script, stick to what you got to do, stick to the plan. We're going to go 1-0. We worried about today's practice. Today's emphasis, the emphasis on today was win today. Win today. Don't look forward to Saturday. Win today.
All right. Hey, stand by. We're going to fix the audio. Was that choppy on your end?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is it still choppy?
Go ahead and count to three.
Go ahead and do a quick audio check real fast, Sheldon.
What did you say?
Go ahead and do a quick audio check real fast.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That works for me.
Stand by. Hold up. I'm not able to. Okay. I'm not able to make that louder. All right. That's the best I can do it for right now.
I'm sure we'll be fine. So
Go ahead, Greg. Let's Sticks, you'll probably just have to give that answer again. It was probably not usable the first time, the audio.
All right, cool. I got it.
so yeah, about the top 25 ranking, if you can run that down for us again, that'd be great. Thanks.
Don't think about it. 2 weeks ago, before the season started, we were ranked 75 out of 76 teams, and the 76 team was UMass. They're not having a season, which means we were the worst team in the country. Those top 25 votes mean nothing. They should mean nothing in this team right now. All we should be focused on is going 1-0. To get to 3-0, you got to go what? 1-0. You got to win that game. That's it. So today we emphasize 1-0. Win today. Let's win this practice. Let's get down today. Let's stay mentally tough and just focus on today. Let's not look ahead. Let's not eat the cheese. No Velveeta, none of that. We're just going to stay down to it and worry about today. And when tomorrow comes, we're going to focus on tomorrow.
And what was it like being back in practice today? I know you guys would usually have Monday off. How did the team respond to the new schedule?
We're really showing how we're growing as a team. Today was a Usually today will be our off day, so our bodies will still be a little sore when we get to heal today. Today we have to be physically and mentally tough. When you get fatigued, your mind is the first thing to go. And when you're coming into practice already sore, how are you going to practice today? How much harder are you going to think about your job and your responsibility? How are you going to fight for your brother today? So that's what really one of our culture pillars, mental and physical toughness. That's something we talked about a lot today also.
Okay, Hector, you're up. Hector, you might be muted.
Sorry, Kyle. I think my computer froze for a second. I didn't hear you call him, and assuming you were. Sticks, good morning. Hey, along the lines of what you were just chatting with Greg about today's practice, Coach Traylor just mentioned a little while ago that you gave a good message to the team before you guys went out there for what's not a usual Monday practice. You mind sharing with us what you relayed to the team?
Mostly what I just said, speaking about 1-0, just think back, In 2 weeks, a lot can change, and how quick we can forget where we once were and can still be if we buy into everything. All of know is the top 25. Everybody's, they're loving us right now. But when you lose, that things change real fast. And I just want the team to really remember, if you're really excited about this 2-0, okay, we haven't really done anything yet. We need to keep going, keep pushing. Even though this isn't a conference game, they are in our conference, and this is a meaningful game. This is a statement game. We need to go out there and play really hard. Those guys aren't just going to lay down. They don't care if we're getting top 25. Those all they see is UTSA. They want to beat us. They're not trying to beat the people going for the top 25. Go out there. Let's work hard today in practice. How you going to give me your all today in practice? 1-0. Let's go today. We're not worried about the game. Let's win today. Remember, 75 out of 76. That's what I left you with.
And Sticks, I'm wondering where that mindset comes from, especially considering the context, right? I mean, you first-year head coach, relatively speaking, you guys haven't been around for a long time in terms of the program. So to have that, to adopt that approach as opposed to, it's pretty good achievement, a couple of top 25 votes, this and that. Where does that mindset come from?
If you win the first 2 and then lose the next 10, does anybody care about your top 25 votes in the beginning of the season? All they're going to see is 2 and 10. I've been 3-9. I've been 4-8. 2 wins aren't enough. You want to keep going. You want to keep pushing. If we don't win any more games, where does all of that buzz go? What does that do for us now? Stay focused. Stay locked in. Mentally tough. The more they make it about us, the more we need to not make it about us. The more we need to pour into everyone else. It's not just about us. It's just not about being 2-0. This is our lifestyle, and we need to stay focused.
Appreciate it, Sticks. Thank you very much.
Okay, Greg, back to you.
Sticks, how is this week of preparation, sort of a short week against a new opponent, different from normal, what a normal week would look like?
First off, you go into Saturday's game knowing you have Memphis next. And then you come out of that game and you hear, all right, now we got Middle Tennessee. It just speaks a lot about 2020. You just going to have to roll with the punches. We got a new team, short week. How we going to answer? Adversity or opportunity?
Would you have thought about Memphis at all, or does this player scouting process not begin until the week of anyway? Is it kind of the same for you in that regard?
Yeah, definitely. We know who we're playing, but the true focus is going to be on the team we're going to be playing that upcoming Saturday. We know our schedule. Everyone knows it. We're going to know who's coming up, who's the next 3 games. But whoever's coming up that Saturday, that's where our focus is going to be. And we have to be even more locked in with a short week. Even though we're playing on a Friday and not a Saturday, losing that one day is big. It really is big.
And you mentioned, losing Memphis. They were the defending champion in their conference. They were a ranked opponent. How does it feel to lose a game like that? Is it, were you guys looking forward to that challenge, or would that have just been a really tough game for you guys? Like, how do you view that loss on the schedule?
Any given Saturday, it doesn't matter. If we lose Middle Tennessee today and have to play somebody else tomorrow, if they're from the American Conference, It doesn't matter. Those guys are coming to suit up. So we're going to come to suit up just like them. It's going to be like next man up, next team up.
Okay, JJ, you can wrap it up with Sticks.
Sticks, I'm curious, how did you feel like the offense played this past week?
We always have room for improvement. I definitely could have done better. I remember missing a block, and I know coach is going to be on it for that when we really dove into that film. But we threw pretty well, and we ran the ball well too. But at the end of the day, there can always be more. You can always give a little more. And this week we're gonna have to push the strain. We're gonna have a shorter week. Our bodies won't be as fresh as they usually would be with that playing on a Saturday. So we're gonna strain and we're gonna push to get more, to be really locked in on the little things. Let me step with my left foot instead of stepping with my right, because the guard will be able to chop down on things like that, you know.
You guys made some pretty big plays in the fourth quarter as a team. What does it say about, the team to be able to do that and hold on for the win?
In practice, when we make big plays, our coaches emphasize there. Like, if we go crazy at practice, they're going to be angry. They're going to talk to us after. They're going to say, you're supposed to do that. When you go up there and make that big-time catch, you're supposed to do that. Put that in your mind. Catch that football, 40 yards down the field, get up, give the ball to the ref. It's what you're supposed to do. You shouldn't be excited for catching a touchdown. You've been catching touchdowns since you were playing Pee-wee. Get up, give the ball to the ref, and just keep rolling. Big plays to everybody else, but we're going to just keep trying to keep it pushing. Keep this train moving.
All right, Sticks. Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sticks.
See you guys later.
So, guys, I made an adjustment about after the first question that you went in. Just wanted to double check and see if that actually had an effect. As far as his audio being a little more louder.
Yeah.
I was saying I made an alteration after his first question. I increased the mic going to you, making sure that was what fixed the issue.
Coach, to me, Coach sounded fine. Sticks sounded very. It was kind of the audio was not as clear.
Yep. All right. Thank you, guys. 1 second. Go through and adjust your camera. 1 second. Go ahead and just give me a quick 10 count so we can just check your audio real fast.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. That sounds good to me. That sounds good to everybody else.
Yeah, that'll work. Take questions for Leroy Watson.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, Leroy, how's it going today?
Pretty good. What's going on, JJ?
I was curious, how do you think you guys played Saturday as an offense?
As an offense, we played pretty good. Didn't make all the plays that we were supposed to make. Definitely me. But we played pretty good. We played good enough to win.
What about down the stretch of the game? You guys made some pretty big plays in the fourth quarter. What does it say about this group that you guys could gut out a win like that?
That means that we're mentally strong. It's one of our pillars being mentally, physically tough, and we rely on that a lot. Especially in the fourth quarter, Coach Traylor trusts us a lot that we got to get going and keep the energy up.
Okay, Greg.
Leroy, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
You guys are kind of entering a short week of preparation here against a new opponent. How is this week going to be different from normal, or how has it been different so far?
Really, it's not that much different. We just moved everything up a day. So instead of having Mondays off like we normally would, we just practice today. But our focus and our combination are still the same. We knew we would play on Friday anyway.
So what is the impact of having the opponent change basically on a week's notice? How does that affect you guys?
Honestly, very minimal. It probably affects the coaches a little bit more than us, but for the players, we still do the exact same thing. We show up ready to work and grind it out the same way we would for any opponent. It's more about us than them.
Memphis they still are the defending champion of their conference. They're a ranked team, probably statistically the toughest team you guys would have faced. Is that a test you were looking forward to, or what does it mean to lose that game off the schedule now?
Yeah, it's just another opportunity that we would have gotten to show against a tough opponent. Excuse me. But we have the same thing in this week. Middle Tennessee is a pretty good team, and we'll have a lot of fun with them too.
How'd you feel like you guys played along the line of scrimmage on Saturday? I know that was something that against Texas State, Coach was saying you did really well in the first half at least. How'd you feel you guys controlled the line of scrimmage overall against Stephen F. Austin?
Early on, it was rough. It took a pretty long time for us to get going. But much like we were preaching all week, the middle eight, we scored right before halftime. We put it 17-0. And then we ended the game in our low zone package, we like to call it, behind Lowell. And that was a good thing for us to hold the ball for 6 minutes in the game.
How do you feel about like your guys' efforts to establish the downfield passing game so far? How do you evaluate how you've done in that regard?
After the first week, we knew that we would open up and let Frank open up a little bit more and have a little bit more fun. And it's one of our pillars on offense that we're going to cut it loose and have a little fun while we're out there. And we've got to make the plays when they're there, especially me. And we've done a pretty good job at it, but we need to do a little bit better.
I want to ask about a few of your teammates, some guys who have stood out so far. Joshua Cephas has been a big impact player at receiver. What have you seen from him to this point?
First thing that comes to mind is maturity. Cephas, he had a good year last year, but he wasn't the player that he is right now, and that just goes to show the work that he put in the offseason. He's done a great job being a leader for this team, whether it's vocal or leading by example, and he's made the plays when it comes to him.
He seems to have put a big emphasis on blocking. How much is that a talking point with, not just the receivers group, but also the tight ends group as well, those guys who are out on the perimeter?
It's talked about every day, all day, 1 through 11. We've seen Frank do a blocking there once in a while, but it's a heavy focus for us that everybody is trained and play together and play for each other.
Brendan Dingle's also played a pretty big role in your offense coming in here. What have you seen from him, or how has he added to your group?
He's added tremendously. He's added a leadership quality. He's also in the single digits, so it goes to show that the team respects him. I voted for him personally, and he gives us a nice threat, speed, to stretch the defense and attack him down the middle of the field. And he's a very physical player as well.
It's an interesting thing to see a guy come in and then immediately be one of those single-digit guys and immediately be viewed as a leader. How did he kind of earn that role so quickly? What did he show your group?
He showed that he was a dominant receiver, and he would make plays when they came to him. And more than that, he showed that he would work hard every day. Rather than practices that was blocking on the perimeter 20 yards down the field or making a very high contested catch, 7-on-7. He showed us that he would work for the team, and he was very built into the program.
Has he taken kind of a vocal leadership role as well? Is that something that's been a part of his impact?
Absolutely. Between him and Sticks, they dominate that receiver room, and they vocally lead this team to where it needs to be.
The other guy, this is actually a defensive guy who stood out so far, is Tariq Woolen. I'm curious, somebody who played with him offensively last year, what's it been like to see him switch to the other side of the ball and have a big impact over there?
First off, Tariq is a freak. He's probably the fastest guy on our team, and he's a very long guy. He's probably a little bit taller than me, but just as long, and he can go all day. It's amazing seeing him play and thrive in a position that really suits him.
It's been interesting to see some of the big hits that he's handed out in the first couple of games here. Did you know he had that level of physicality?
Oh, absolutely. It just takes the right opportunity and the right look to put you in that best position to shine. Coach Traylor was really good at putting players in position to suit them the best.
Got it. Thank you, Leroy.
All right. Thanks, Leroy.
Thank you.
We got one more player for you. All right, we've got Rashad Wisdom coming in. Trying to get Savion tomorrow. Rashad, if you want to set your mask down, you can.
Can you
Mask up so we can burn
reposition your camera? All right. Looks good to me.
Okay, Rashad, count to 3 for us real quick. Just make sure we can hear you.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, we'll take questions for Rashad. JJ, you're up first.
Hey, Rashad, how's it going today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Thanks for joining us. How would you say you think you guys played this past week?
Overall, I thought we played pretty well. There's definitely some more things that we need to clean up just as an entire team. Defensively, I feel like we really stepped up this week and played good. And that's going to be something we're going to have to need, for down the road and later on throughout the season. So I think this week was really good for us and had a lot of teaching points this week as well for us.
Coach said that he thought the energy was kind of low to start the game. Did you feel that way?
I did, just because all the people that we have to have in the dome and the ones that we can't, just from the simple fact that we can't pack it up as much as we would like to. I feel like the energy was kind of down, but at the same time, it's just going to be on us this year to really bring it and bring the juice because, like I said, we can't have too many people in, so it's really going to be on us to have the energy and just going to be all on us.
You guys made several big plays in the fourth quarter as a team. What does it say about, your team that you guys are able to do that?
Honestly, I feel like it says that we really bought into our coaches and, our scheme as well. Just from the simple fact that, that we just kept on fighting and kept going for the entire 4 quarters. And I think that's something that we really improved on from week 1 with Texas State. So I think this team's starting to really buy into what the coaches are saying and, just into each other as well.
Hey, Greg, you're up.
Rashad, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm wondering, what did it mean to you guys as a team to get a couple of votes from the AP Top 25 yesterday?
It's definitely nice to see that we're getting recognition for our hard work, but at the same time, it really doesn't mean a lot to us, just from the simple fact that, just like we were preaching last week, just don't eat the cheese, keep a level head, just stay humble, and we're going to keep on doing what we've been doing. I feel like we put in a lot of work this off season and throughout camp, and we still have a long road to go, and we got to remain focused and keep on going throughout the season.
Along those lines, what was the atmosphere like being back in practice today? I know it's a little unusual. How did the group respond to that?
The group responded pretty well today, even though it was a Monday and we usually have off today. We came out with a lot of energy today. Guys were flying around, So I think we did pretty well with adjusting. Everybody was on time to meetings, so I think today was a pretty productive practice.
Even beyond just that, how is this week different with kind of a short turnaround and against the new opponent that just got announced Saturday?
It will just be, everything's going to be bumped up a day. So just our normal schedule will just be a day earlier. We'll have Saturday off. So that's the only thing that's really going to be something for us, is just adjusting with the days and having to play a day earlier on Friday. But I don't think it will be too much of an issue for us. And like I said, today was pretty well. So I think that's the time that how well we'll be throughout the week.
Does the new opponent require any sort of adjustment for you in terms of the routine to prepare for a game?
I feel like it's just the same routine every week. Everyone's going to come to play. It's college football, so we just keep on preparing how we've been preparing. They're a good squad, so we're just go out there, keep on doing what we're doing. Just practice hard and go out Friday and try to get the W.
Memphis was a ranked team and a defending conference champion. Is that a matchup you guys were looking forward to, or what's the dynamic like of losing that for your group?
We're definitely looking forward to it, but we look forward to playing all of our opponents. Just like I said, every week is going to be the same thing. Every team is going to be pretty good. You can never just look down on an opponent. So we are looking forward to playing Memphis, but we're also looking forward to playing Middle Tennessee. That'll be different for us because me personally, I have yet to play them. I know a lot of other guys on the squad have yet to play them. So we're definitely looking forward to playing them, and I think it will definitely be a great game.
You talked about your defense's play Saturday. How did you evaluate the way you guys covered some of the deep passes down the field?
I think that's something that we're gonna have to just work on a little bit better. There's a couple of hiccups here and there, but overall I think we did a fairly decent job with that. Just like I said, we're just gonna have to go back to practice and keep working hard and just get better with it. We're not perfect. We're not perfect at all. So I think that's gonna be one of the things that we emphasize this week for sure.
Is there anything in particular that led to those hiccups, or how can you kind of solve that?
I just, gonna have to keep on working at it. This is something that was really like our first time seeing the season. That even though it was just the second game, just early season, kind of mess up. But I think we'll definitely get back and keep working at it, and it will definitely get fixed.
Hey, Hector, you're up.
Morning, Rashad.
Good morning.
Hey, the top 25 votes and getting those, you talked about, hey, that's nice to get recognition, but at the same time, there's bigger goals ahead, right? For a guy who went through what you went through last year, and you've been around, being a San Antonio area guy, you've seen the program from a distance here for several years now. Is it a pretty good spot to be in, Rashad, that basically for 2 straight weeks now, you guys are talking about not having to take the cheese and, don't believe the hype and those kinds of things. It just seems like for a program who's gone through for the last couple of years and is still relatively young and with a first-year coach, that's a pretty good position to be in right now.
Yes, sir, most definitely it is. And like I said, it's definitely something big for us. And like it was said, it was the first time in history that we've gotten the vote to be in the top 25. So, it is important to us, but at the same time, we got to keep a level head, stay humble, and just keep working every day like we've been doing. And just like I said, we came too far already, just with, keeping everyone in our bubble and doing as well as we've been doing. And, we got to keep a level head, and we can't get too big headed, and we got to keep working at it. Just got to keep working.
Gotcha. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Greg, you can wrap it up with Rashad.
Rashad, I want to ask you about Tariq Woolen. He's been kind of a bright spot on the defense so far. What have you made of his play?
And Tyreek stepped up big time for us this week. I was super proud of him just from, how it was week 1 to this week. And that's just with him and how hard he works every day. He comes in, he always has the right attitude, right mindset. He's always willing to listen to other people and other coaches. And, he's a real coachable guy. First time playing corner this year, but he's doing a great job. And I couldn't be proud of Tyreek and the way he stepped up big for us this week.
Yeah, what's it been like to go from one year you're guarding him and defending him, and now the next year he's out there with you in the backfield?
I'll tell you one thing, I love it because he's probably, if not the fastest, one of the fastest guys on the team. So there's definitely something to deal with every day in practice. But I sure love him on the side with us. And like I said, he's a big time player. He makes plays. So I'm definitely happy to have him on the same side of the ball as me.
Did you expect that he would be able to bring the physicality and some of the hits that he's brought in these first 2 games?
Most definitely. Tyreek, just like I said, he brings it every day. He's a hard worker. He's a learner. So, just what he did this weekend was not a surprise to me. Just like I said, he works hard every day and he brings it. So, he's a player for sure and he's special.
Got it. Thank you, Rashad.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Rashad. Thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all.